Welcome back to Theresa's Den. My name is Theresa, and I had an interesting day today. I went to work very early. Basically, ever since jury duty kind of fucked up my schedule, so I just needed to get a lot of stuff done today. So I figured, you know, why not go to the office when nobody's there? Plus, I can freely say motherfucker out loud without being judged. I say win-win. So that's what I did. So I've actually had half of my makeup on since 4:45 this morning. Gross. I decided like around 12 or so I was actually gonna go get a pedicure because I was like, you know what? I came in to work early. I got more than I expected done. I'm gonna reward myself with a little treat. Okay, I'm a weirdo where when I go get my pedicures, I actually like cooler water. Not cold, but like cooler water. Like don't make it hot. Don't make it like scalding hot because I don't wanna have to smell myself cook. I know I would be delicious and I don't need to know what that smell smells like. You know what I'm saying? Like I imagine I smell like bacon. I don't need confirmation. I asked the lady like, oh hey, can you just make the water cooler? And she kind of just kept going, cold? And I'm like, just cooler, just, you know, cold water, like just a little bit cold, like cold water. And she was like, cold? And I'm like, yes, cold water, just put cold fucking water in there. Finally, like after a couple minutes or so, she's like, okay, it's ready. And I put my feet in and it was the coldest water I've ever experienced in my life. It felt like about a million needles hit my foot at once. Actually sent a shock to my heart. All I kept thinking was, remain calm. Do not make this lady feel bad because you're a fucking idiot and you didn't specify that you wanted cool water, not cold water. So I literally just did this. Excellent. First of all, who fucking says excellent? I was just like, who am I, some yuppie bitch? No, I'm not. So the whole time I just sat on my phone trying not to laugh and dreading every time I had to dump my foot back into that cold ass ice water. Needless to say, my skin on my feet look good. It's very refreshed. I remember at the end of it, she said to me, I will never forget you. And I said, I'm sorry. And I just left. So that was pretty much my lunchtime. That was fun. And honestly, the whole day was like so like slow and shitty and just like everybody was an asshole today at work. Not my coworkers, but like everyone just was acting like a dick today and it was just so annoying. Anyway, so I just really wanted to come home. I was super excited. I wanted to just fucking talk about this Norvina palette because it's interesting. What I'm gonna do right here, I'm actually gonna stop, show you. I actually did 4 different eye looks for you. Oh my god, who am I, a fucking beauty guru? No, basically I actually did 2 last night and I did 1 this morning, which was what I wore to work, and then I actually did 1 when I came home because I was like, you know what, I actually want to try a good fair amount of the colors. Okay, so I'll come back and I'll let you know my final thoughts about this palette. I want to first off say I am a fan of this brand. And I want to say that I'm not doing this to show off by any means, so please don't think that. I literally just want to show you, I do like this brand. I support this brand. I buy their shit. And I also use my hard-earned money to buy these palettes. So don't try to fucking come for me. I didn't get mommy and daddy to pay for my shit. I fucking racked it up with credit card debt. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I have a job, I have a full-time job that crushes my soul every day. And when I'm not paying student loans, I'm paying for palettes, you know? Come on. I'm like every other fucking asshole in this world. So we do it all for makeup. If you think about it, all these palettes, with the exception of this one, all pretty much look the same, right? Modern Renaissance is basically the cool older sister that we have that we just really want to be like, and yet our parents hate us because they really love Catherine more. That's what this palette is. I was very specific, and I know I don't have a sister. I have an older brother. So just insert Catherine with his name. Except he's not cool, but he's the favorite. Only because he's firstborn. Fuck him. The next palette, which actually hurt me the most because I wanted this palette to work so badly. I actually bought this palette before and I returned it. And I'm a fucking idiot because when I went to BeautyCon, ABH was there and they were like, hey, we're giving this away. I think it was like 30 or 40% off. It was something crazy that I was like, you know what? Maybe they repressed that formula and they made it better. Joke's on me, they didn't. It's shit. And it sucks because I'm the weirdo that actually really likes this color story because yes, bitch, there are 2 yellows in here, but neither one of them really work. They're very powdery and it's very weird. But anyway, you'll notice kind of a trend here in a second. Then you have the Prism palette. Hear me out on this, right? Follow me. The Prism palette is kind of like, this is the best example I can give for this palette. Think about a sitcom, right? And you think to yourself, okay, I know the characters. I've been watching them throughout the years. And then one day, the new season starts and one of the characters that you know and love is gone. And they replaced her with somebody else, but still referred to her as that old character and pretended like nothing ever happened. That's what this palette is. This palette is basically Becky from Roseanne, okay? And if you do know what that is, then we are kindred soulmates. I feel like this was more of like a response, and I know this is a holiday palette, but I really think that this was more of a response very quickly for Subculture being a shit show that it was, and they were like, hey, look at this one. Kind of looks like Subculture, but kind of not. I do like this palette. I actually really like this palette a lot, more so than the Subculture, but I actually haven't picked it up in a while though, which is a little sad, and maybe I need to fix that. And then you have the Soft Glam palette. Soft Glam is basically the pumpkin spice latte drinker of the bunch. She's the kind of girl that wears Uggs in the summertime because she's cold. You know what I mean? She's just a basic ass bitch. And I get it. You know, not everybody wants yellows and mustards and shit like that. And those are the boring people. And I just have to accept that. But I do love this palette. I think it offers really solid fucking looks. And yes, it's not out there. Like, I like a little palettes that have a splash of color and stuff like that. You're not gonna get that here. You're literally gonna get bare bones, basic, neutral looks, but you're gonna be flawless and beautiful every time. And that's why I think this is a classic staple. However, every bitch owns a palette like this. I don't necessarily think you should rush out and buy it or go get it because you probably fucking own it. Just shop your collection. Norvina. Okay, so here are the things that I don't like about this palette. One, the kickback is fucking crazy. It's too much, it's too insane, to the point where it looks like I have actually huge craters in this palette, which really sucks. And it makes me wonder, it's like, well, where did that product go? So that's something to think about. Fallout on the shimmer shades were actually probably the most disgusting, only because the rose gold was so chunky. And I'm an idiot because instead of using a large powder brush, I decided to wipe it away with my fingers, which looked like Freddy Krueger fucking attacked my face. That sucks. The other thing I hate about it is that the packaging. While this is very pretty, don't get me wrong, this is beautiful. I think if I would have filmed this about an hour after I got it, you'd have been like, wow, it's a beautiful palette. But now it looks like a little lived in. Almost to the point where I haven't had it for that long yet, it looks like a tester palette. I spent $42 on something that looks like a tester palette. You kind of can't win because even with their light packaging, it looks like shit. With their dark packaging, it looks like it's been under your bed for 6 years. You cannot win. They need to step away from this fuzzy fucking shit. I don't know who likes it. It sucks because far away, they look like they're very pretty palettes, but they're not the kind of palettes that I would actually leave on display because the more I touch them, the more my natural oils gets in, the ring ding stains get there, and then I'm like, ooh, I don't want to look at that because then it reminds me that I'm fat and a failure. I don't like that, all right? Honestly, what this reminds me of, it's kind of like you bring over somebody and you're like, hey, this is my new place. Look how beautiful my living room is. Oh, by the way, don't mind that plate with roaches on it. That's what this reminds me of. It's just like, ugh. The more you touch it, the more dirty it looks, the more shitty it looks. That's kind of how I feel about it, which I know sounds very weird, but whatever, go with me on that. And I think for out of dislikes, I think that's it. That's all I dislike about the palette. Because this palette is fucking awesome and I really like it. And I know there's a lot of mixed reviews out there. I haven't watched a lot of reviews. I did watch one, my one friend, who actually, it was not even a video of reviewing the palette, it was more of, this is why I'm not buying a palette. Her name is Harvie, she's wonderful. I think at some point we were probably separated at birth, and I'll leave her information down below. And to kind of paraphrase her video, she basically was saying like everybody's like jerking themselves off about it, thinking that this is the great purple palette. Again, I'm paraphrasing here, okay? Sorry, Harvie. She wasn't gonna fall into that trap because she has other palettes that have purples that are actually very similar to it. It's actually a really funny video, and it made me really think, because it was like, wow, you know what, she's actually kind of right. This isn't really a revolutionary palette that people were claiming it to be. Like somehow this palette would sprout legs, walk across the room, and make you dinner. And trust me, I'm waiting for the day that happens. I don't cook, and God forbid my husband ever leaves me, I'm fucked. It would get so bad I'd probably start eating my neighbors, which isn't a bad idea. It would definitely solve my problems. People were like literally losing their shit, like, oh my god, this is the fucking purple thing that we're looking for in the story. But in reality, this palette actually only has a couple of purple shades, and it's basically soft glam just with purple accents to it. My point here is that if you had to pick between the two, I would say go for this one and not soft glam, only because I love the pops of color in here are so fucking worth it compared to soft glam. And soft glam is actually a really good palette. So that's what I will say for that. I didn't try Summer. I'll be honest, I didn't try that one, or Dazzling, or Drama. So those are the three that I didn't try. Everything else, you can see there's a little bit of brush marks because I did try that, and they are incorporated in one of the fucking 4 looks that I created for you. The mattes were great. They're very pigmented, almost too pigmented to the point where you're like, you know, you kind of go in with a little bit and then you realize it's like a punch to your fucking face, and then you gotta like diffuse and blend out. But these shadows work so well that the blending is so good that you can blend it out. So even if you go in with a hard punch, it's so easy to fix, which is so fucking nice. And I find that that's incredibly rare. It's either like all or nothing. So the shimmers are awesome, but the fallout is unbelievable. See, fucking this palette up, god damn it. So I think if you're in the market of wanting to purchase this palette, I don't think you will be disappointed. I think you'll be highly impressed with it because the quality is so good. Honestly, I actually had my makeup on this side of my face all goddamn day. Like, let's just say like around 5 o'clock in the morning, this eyeshadow was done, right? It is currently 9:42 at night. 9:43, my bad. My eyeshadow still looks pretty good. And it's summer. And it's New York, and I had to wait in the hot subway, which smelled what I imagined Satan's asshole to smell like, and my makeup still looked pretty good. The only thing I will say though is that I did touch up my eyeliner, because I do want to point that out, because my eyeliner when I came home looked a little rough, but my eyeshadow still looks the same. So for something that actually lasts all goddamn day, yo, this is worth the $42. I'm happy with this purchase. I think just for that purple shade alone, yeah, I'll say it, just for that purple shade alone, take my fucking money, because I am super happy with this palette. Do I recommend this? I would happily say that I completely recommend this palette. Do I think you really need to rush out and go get it? No, because you never need to rush out and go get anything. I think if you do see this in the store, and if you're still kind of on the fence about it, I would recommend that when it's available in the stores, you should go check it out. You should touch it, feel it, love on it, do whatever you need to do, because I'm telling you, the quality of this is really fucking nice. Do I have anything else to say? No, I think I want to kind of keep this short and sweet, to be honest, because I'm very curious to hear from you guys. Are you interested in buying this palette? Do you give a shit about this palette? Do you not care? Do you actually want to see it in person first before you give your hard-earned coin for that? Which I totally get. So please feel free to write down below. Also, if you want to see me review anything else that is different that's coming out, I don't know, just let me know. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notification of my future posts. And follow me on Instagram. Sometimes I post stuff. Today I posted a picture of a duck in a witch's costume. That was basically the representation of me in my best form. So anyway, I guess I'll see you little purple people eaters later. Bye.